Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. GV here. So today I'm in Kilbride Cemetery here in Arklow, County Wicklow, and I'm here today to show you a very interesting mausoleum that's belonged to the Howard family. And the Howard family were owners of Shelton Abbey. So I'll take you around and tell you a little bit about the mausoleum here of the Howard family and a couple of old gravestones here in this beautiful old cemetery. The pyramid mausoleum here in Kilbride. So when Ralph Howard of Shelton Abbey was made first Viscount in Wicklow in 1785, he decided that no longer would a departed Howard be buried in cold clay. So he built this huge mausoleum here for his family, and the design is believed to be the work of a sculptor from England called Simon Verpy. There's also a sarcophagus on the north side of the pyramid that records that the monument was erected in memory of an earlier Howard and as a place of burial for the family. Now, north of the pyramid is a small Egyptian style structure with a temple front that is often taken for part of the mausoleum, but leads to a second chamber that houses a minor branch of the Howard family, and that's the one we're just looking at here now in front of us. The wall facing the short corridor and the walls to the right and left each contain 9 niches inside the pyramid for coffins, 3 rows of 3. The coffins were inserted lengthwise so that each niche opening is only 2 feet 6 inches square, receding about 7 feet. A slab, which is the biographical details of the interred, were carved as on ordinary headstones, was fitted to seal the niche. So we'll go up and have a look at the old graveyard here and the mausoleum. Now, the fourth wall has only 6 niches, 3 placed vertically either side of the chamber entrance, making a total of 33 coffin spaces in all. Masonic symbolism or just a handy number, who knows? But the strange thing is only 18 are occupied. The first interment was of Ralph Howard's daughter, Isabella. She was 19 when she died in December 1784. As the pyramid was not built until the following year, it is reasonable to assume that Isabella was buried in the graveyard and then reinterred in the mausoleum when it was ready. The last interment of which we have a record of took place in 1823. But folklore states that there was another. For weeks following the interment of an infant family member, tenants living here at Kilbride reported the sound of a child crying at night. The body was, we were told, removed and interred elsewhere, after which the crying is said to have stopped. The pyramid was sealed and never used again. So wow, there you have it guys, the Howard Pyramid. So we'll have a read guys and see what inscription we can see on a couple of the tombstones here. And this is the one we were speaking of here. And there's Howard members of the family interred in that as a chamber that goes back in under the ground, as you can see just there. So these are different. They're the same family, but they're buried in just in a different area. And just up the top you can see the pyramid mausoleum. Now the Shelton Abbey, which was the residence of the Howards, is now a prison, an open prison, I believe, since the 1970s. So it has changed hands a couple of times. Now there is an inscription on just this part of it here, so hopefully you can see the chamber door there, but it seems to be well sealed. Now we do see a name on this here, in loving memory of Isabella, second daughter of the Honourable Hugh Howard, wife of the Honourable Granville, I think that says there, Levinson. So we have the Howard name there, Isabella Howard. So she's interred in there, Isabella. And we can just see at the top of it there, it almost looks like a building that you see, like a bank, a front entrance in a bank or a courthouse, or that kind of look. And just up the top of it, I've noticed there is a crack in there inside, and you probably won't be able to see anything because it's probably completely blocked in there. But who knows, in edit, guys, I might see something in there in edit. It would be very interesting if you could see what's in there. And there's another slit just here, and they're designed like a cross on them. Now I can kind of actually see something in there, guys. I can see does look like coffins in there. You can vaguely see what's inside of there. So guys, reading an article online from a newspaper, a woman was in the area, and she said on the local article that she used to play around this pyramid. The woman now is in her 60s, but when she was younger as a child, she used to play around the pyramid area. She recalls that the classical facade used to have a couple of doors, but have now been sealed off. The doors ran into a passageway, perhaps 10 meters long, running under the hillock and into the space beneath the pyramid where the bodies are interred. And just here, as you enter the old graveyard, or the cemetery I should say, we have a couple of graves here in loving memory of Charlie, the beloved husband of Lucy Terrell, who died in 1944, aged 71 years old. So we'll go up and we'll have a closer look at the Howard Mausoleum. So what a story that is, guys, of the Howard family and the wealth these people had back in the day. He didn't want one of his family or any of his family to be buried in cold clay. So he wanted them to be buried in this very elaborate pyramid mausoleum. And it's absolutely huge. And when I'm standing here looking at it, it might look like that on camera, but when you're here in person, it really is quite large. Now we have as I was saying there at the start, the sarcophagus here, just at the top of the entrance of it. It's hard to read on here, but I'll try my best. It says, within the walls of the adjoining church lie the remains of M. Dorothy Howard, other wife, Haffels, of John Howard, Esquire, who departed this life at Shelton, and that's Shelton Abbey, in December 1884, to whose memory and that of their descendants of burial for his family, Ralph Viscount Wicklow, has caused this monument to be erected in the year of our Lord, and the date is just there, guys, if you can see it, 1785. So back in 1785, this huge pyramid mausoleum was erected for the Howard family, and it's in an absolutely beautiful location here in Kilbride in Wicklow. And just look at that scenery, and it just towers above everything, and it can be seen from the main road as you pass. But look at that for scenery around this old cemetery here. The Howard family. Now we'll go around and we'll have a look. There's renovation going on here actually. You can see some scaffolding or some railing, fencing kind of going around some of the graves, their areas. But we'll just have a closer look at this beautiful pyramid mausoleum here for the Howards. So I'd imagine it's absolutely huge. Inside there, you'd have your steps going down inside the chamber of the pyramid, housing all the remains of the Howard family. And what a strange story about that child that was heard crying and was reportedly moved from the pyramid mausoleum and buried elsewhere, which I found very, very strange, the story. And the crying was stopped afterwards. So here's the entrance door to the pyramid mausoleum of the Howards. And you can just see there, guys, it has broken away, this bit of concrete off it here. So it's all sealed up. So right down there, you'll have your steps. I suppose to be designed like a normal pyramid that you'd see in Egypt. You'd have your chamber going down in underneath where everybody would be interred and all the coffins would be. That big steps going down. Now just beside the mausoleum here is a headstone of, it looks like the name is Heath Darcy. Called home at Derby the 18th of August 1933. So I'm not actually sure if these are any relations to the Howard family here. But anyway guys, we'll go around and we'll read a couple of the old headstones. Just wanted to show you that beautiful mausoleum of the Howard family there, and a little bit about the story behind it. It's a beautiful stone here. It says, to the memory of Anne, the wife of Edward Curran, who departed this life on the 28th of April 1825, aged 62 years old. Sun is shining here today. It's not bad, the weather, a little bit cold, but we'll survive. Now, here we have, erected by George Curran in memory of his son Peter Curran, who departed this life on the 22nd of January 1849, aged only 21 years old. And George Curran departed this life the 18th of November 1851, aged 19 years old. Mary and Eve, it looks like, departed this life young, it says. So another beautiful, I'll try and stand out of the light, inscription on that headstone. So we have a couple of tabletop tombs there. A couple of old ones down here. We can see a very strange looking setup here. We have this cable here that's tied to the tree, and it goes right down here to this obelisk looking headstone just down here. Look at that. For fear that this would fall off and land down behind the back of the old cemetery here. And it says on it here, erected by Elizabeth Curran, and there's the other name again, the same, Curran of Ridge House in Arklow, in memory of her beloved husband Henry, who departed this life on the 24th of July 1886, aged 40 years old. And also their son George is here, who died on the 24th of May 1886, age only 7 years old. There's also another name there, and the letters are missing off it. We see in 1891, age 22 years old, and Elizabeth Terrell, who died on Ascension Thursday, it says. Never seen that before. The 10th of May 1923, age 78 years old. So, a beautiful monument here for the Curran family. That obelisk design overlooking the hills here in Arklow, and the cable that runs to support it from falling over all the way up here, as I was showing you, to that tree where it's tied on for support. Wow. Another headstone here in memory of Letia Amelia Baton of S.H. Eaton Esquire, looks like there, late Captain 62nd Regiment, and it said she died the 10th of December 1864, age 84 years old. So we have Letia Amelia Eaton. A really old one here as well, with that lovely railing going around it. Just inside here. And it says, in loving memory of Susan Jane, the only and dearly beloved daughter of Richard and Dorothea Curran, who departed this life on March the 9th, 1887, aged only 20 years old. So a beautiful resting place there for that young girl. She was only 20 years old. A huge drop going down the side of the cemetery there. So there's loads of works going on, as I was saying earlier. So we'll go over and we will have a look at that to see what exactly they're doing. Now the inscription is beautiful on this one here. Erected by Francis Sherwood in memory of his beloved son Joseph Sherwood, who died on the 13th of February 1866, aged 35 years old. Also his beloved wife Rhoda, who died on the 27th of January 1878, aged 75. And there's a Frank Sherwood who died here in 1881, aged 89 years old. And George died in 1904. So George would have been the last person, or sorry, Elizabeth would have been the last person here in 1914 to be interred. So a lovely inscription on that headstone. And Michael Dickinson is in the same plot here. Michael died 1879. It was erected by Michael Dickinson, of Arklow, in memory of his beloved wife Mary Ann, who departed this life in October the 30th, 1879, aged only 38. And look at those beautiful flower designs there, like we see the lilies on them on the headstone. Right guys, so we'll go over and have a look at this area of the cemetery here, and you see the fence going around it there where they're doing some work. So we'll go in and see, and of course we'll be very careful going in around that area. Samuel J. Marshall, in memory of his parents Samuel Marshall, who died in 1904, aged 52, and Annie Marshall, who died in 1932, aged 92 years old. Wow. And that looks like it was added onto the headstone there. It was put into it. Now this one is in bad shape here, unfortunately. This grave. It's in bad shape. You can see the railing. There's parts missing off it going around. Stone slab on top has split in two. So I'm sure they're trying to put it together. And we see this one just here as well. Now this was probably part of the old church. It looks like there was an old ruin of a church here as well. So we'll go around here and have a look, because there's an absolutely huge hole. Wow, look at the size of that hole, guys. And it was a stone slab that has broken away, and there's a big gaping hole there. So I'm going to go around to where Sue is there.
I think it was a crypt.
It looks like a crypt, yeah. There's a really huge hole in it. So I'm just going to go up around, guys, and have a look here. At this side we get a better view of it.
Definitely a crypt.
Now it is very dangerous, guys, so I'm going to be careful, because I don't want to end up in a crypt. You'd never see any more videos from GV.
Underground videos.
So I'm just showing you inside. Now it is hard to see in there. I'll go down a bit closer. For some reason my torch is not really working properly today, or since I came inside this place it doesn't seem to be working, but we can just see in there's bits of old like pallets and wood and rubbish, and
See that there?
that there is part I'd
of
say
this.
of what's missing on top here. You can just see down there that stone slab. So it's a really huge crypt, and you can see the surrounding walls of it there inside, and it goes down, I'd say, a good, it's definitely 10 to 15 feet
Oh yeah.
deep down there. And you can just see down there, there's a better view of it, the walls that go around it there. So I'm just going to step away from it again, guys, because just wanted to give you a quick look of what it looks like, that old crypt. Now we have a lovely old headstone here. With a kind of a design on it there. I don't know if that's a sun or something on it. But it says, "Here light the body of could be Matthew, who departed this life on the 31st, 1734, you can see the date on it there, age 40 years old. So a really old headstone there. Another old one here. Here it lied the body of John, who departed this life on April 1772, and they're hard to read, a lot of them. You know, there is a lot of the old headstones, and really I suppose they're back from the 1700s, so a lot of them don't last. They're weather worn and stuff. Another beautiful one here, erected to the memory of John Edward McGuinness, what a great name, who died on the 18th of May 1865, aged 35, also of his two youngest children, Jane, who died on the 29th of August 1866, aged only 8 months old, and Harriet died in May 1867, aged only 9 months. How sad is that, guys? Little Jane departed this life in 1865, aged only, I think that's actually could be an 8 or a 3, I'm not sure, could be an 8 months. And just 2 years later, little Harriet passed away, aged 9 months. So very sad that the McGuinness family lost 2 young children in the space of 2 years. So rest in peace to the McGuinness family, and I hope you're all together again. Here we have, erected to the memory of his father, Joseph Dickinson, who died November the 10th, 1863, aged 65 years. Also Jane, beloved wife, who died August 1867, aged 68 years old. So beautiful old cemetery here, guys. Kilbride Cemetery in Arklow, County Wicklow, and marvellous headstones here, inscriptions, some great history of the Howard family, where their final resting places up on this beautiful hill here surrounding, and the beautiful setting of the countryside. And I'm sure when he was building this mausoleum and had it in mind, he knew where he wanted to be laid to rest with his family. And I wouldn't blame him, because the views are absolutely stunning here. An old Kilbride. We just have 3 more here together. Now unfortunately this one has fallen over. The headstone completely fallen over and it's just flat on the ground. And it looks like the name on that is Robert Shear, 1870. And on this one here it says, this stone is erected by Thomas Curran, and we've seen that name Curran a lot here in headstones, in memory of his beloved children, Eleanor, who died the 24th of September 1828, aged only 6 years old, and Thomas died on the 24th of August 1831, aged 3 years old. So 2 small children, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, buried there. So rest in peace to the family of the Currans. And here we have in memory of Eleanor, daughter of Joseph Curran, who died January the 15th, 1836, aged only 11 years old. Wow.
Parents.
Very young. People who died here belong to the Curran family. 3 headstones. And the one in the middle, Rachel Waldron is the name on this, who died on the 1st of December 1912, aged 75. So we have a different name on that headstone there, it's Waldron. And on the other 2 is Curran. So I'm sure when they're that close together, they're all the one family. So we won't stay too much longer here, guys. We might just go back down now and show you where I came in first, and have another look maybe at that Greek revival, Greek style vault down there as you come in, of the Howard family. Beautiful Celtic cross in memory of Johnny, it looks like, or memory of my husband John Hall, born in 1869 and passed on the 8th, 1925. So as you can see there, guys, I just tried to have a look inside the vault there, the Howard family, and I captured something at the back of the vault. Now it does look like to me that there is a chamber just behind there inside, and there's something brown the other side. Now it could be a coffin. I'll have a better look in the edit, but I tried to show you whatever I could in there. Now it does look like there's doors at the back of that there, you know, that lead in underground into another chamber. So it's quite interesting to know when we look and edit to see what we can see there. Well, that's the Howard family that are buried there, and you have your pyramid right there at the back of the Howard family also that I showed you. So guys, I think I'll end the video there at this location, just as you come in the Howard family burial area behind me with the pyramid. So if you like the video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. The bell will let you know when I upload a video again. So thanks very much for watching this very, very remarkable video about the Howard Pyramid Mausoleum, and just a little bit of detail about it as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next adventure.